Hello everyone, it's AKWBlaze91 once again, and today I present you all one more unboxing video for you. And I got, well, it's not so much of an unboxing, it's more so a review of what I've recently just got of new games there. I just got my hands on and a new accessory. So I'm going to be talking about what I recently just got, possibly unbox them, or what is essentially unboxable by the term. Give a talk about it, with my thoughts on it. And it did take a while for me to get the last one, so let's not waste my time any further. So first of all, the first thing I got was a new accessory for my Wii, and that is this. This is called the House of the Dead hand cannon, gun shell for the Nintendo Wii. This didn't come in a box. This was all that I got. Just the controller shell itself. This is a gun shell for the Nintendo Wii, as you can see. And this was a special limited edition shell controller for the Nintendo Wii. Nintendo Wii. There was a standalone version, which was this one, and there was a limited edition black one where it had the handle black. But the white one was the one I went for, considering it was a bit more cheaper. And I've been wanting to get my hands on this because this was a special looking revolver light gun shell that used to promote the House of the Dead Overkill, which was the spin-off House of the Dead game for the Nintendo Wii, which came out in 2009 for the Wii. And it was an excellent rail shooter, and one of the best House of the Dead games that was out. And it was an exceptional game. So I'm going to demonstrate how to set this thing up. So over here you got the front, yeah. And over there, and over here this, you got that. Got this little button here which releases this top cover here, and you can put the Wii remote inside. And I'm just going to shove it in here. And then you push that down, while holding the button down there. Then once it's down, you release it. Now it's in. And then you lock this in here. And there you go, it's now locked in place. This is like one of the easier ways I can get the thing in. Because getting the Wii remote through here is a bit of a pain, considering all of those things are in the way. And you can get a nunchuck inside here. And this is where the nunchuck wire can come out from. And you can place the nunchuck wire on the handle, so it makes it easier to hold. So there you go, and you can use it like it's a light gun. I've been using this for the Wii but I've also been using it on my computer as well. Got the dolphin bar set up on my computer as well, so I can use this on my computer. The reason I wanted to get a spare one, the reason I wanted to get this one is my blue one, one of my Surefire revolver guns broke, which was the white one, but the blue one still works. The trigger on the white one snapped. I don't even know how it managed to snap off, likely due to poor durable quality, but at least this one, the quality on this actually does look favorable. It's got the makings of a good looking light gun as well. Even the feel of it looks nice as well. It's got a nice trigger on it. It has the AMS logo, which is the organization your main character works for in the House of the Dead series. Like, I can really see myself using this a lot for my Wii games, and also for the icon games I get on the PC. Like, truly fantastic stuff. And I know the batteries are running low. I'm gonna need to get some new batteries and some new rechargeable ones sometime soon, as well as charge my old ones that I'm currently using. But either way, that's my House of the Dead hand cannon. Now I got two games here. One of them for the Game Boy Advance and one of them for the Nintendo DS. Here is the Game Boy Advance one, which has no box. Backtrack. This was a game in 2001 by Telegames, of all companies. And Telegames isn't a very respectable company. They're known for like making masterworks of games such as Rascal Races and also the infamous Santa Claus Saves the Earth, which I've watched on Caddick channel, and those games are delightful gems. But this is probably one of the more better ones you're gonna see in the Telegames library. And in belief, Backtrack has a few respectable things going for it. For one thing, this was the first Game Boy Advance first-person shooter to be released for the GBA. And looking at this, it's actually pretty much to say what Backtrack did for the GBA is actually pretty respectable. It may be down with a somewhat dodgy frame rate, limited draw distance, and the controls, but this was Game Boy Advance, so you can't really expect too much out of it. It was originally released in 1998 for the PC, but it was forgettable. Nobody even bothered to talk about it on PC. But when it comes to the Game Boy Advance version, yeah, this is where this game gets its reputation from. Being the very first FPS game for the GBA. And it helped pave the way for other first-person shooters to come out on the GBA, like Doom 2, Dark Arena, which is one I liked, the X vs. Separate games, which I truly love. So this was a truly respectable game for what it did. It's not really a game that holds up well today, but yeah, it's good that I got this. Yeah, it's a good thing that I have one of these and I can put it in. It doesn't have a box, but hey, I've got one of these. So Nice, so I can play this anytime. Now next is the Nintendo DS game, and this is one I've been wanting to try and track down. And I had to look at what specific region, and I had to look at trying to find the European specific region, and realized it was damn near impossible. So I settled with the US one instead, because I know the European cartridge of it is going to be nearly impossible to find, and it is Craig Hastings Tournament Paintball Max, the DS version. This is the Nintendo DS port of a paintball game that was originally on the PlayStation 2 and the Xbox back in 2005? 2005, 2006? I can't remember. I cannot really remember. But either way, eventually they eventually made handheld versions of it. There was one for the DS, which is this one, and there was a worse off version for the Game Boy Advance, which was dreadful. But the Nintendo DS version was like, it tries to bring the paintball action onto a handheld, and it didn't do a great job. But it's Nintendo DS, so I can't really complain too much. Graphics maybe, but the graphics are odd. The controls maybe a little bit off. Like you can't go in 8 movement directions, but at least the stylus aiming is there. And the AI may be dumb sometimes, but it's what you'd expect from a paintball game put into a handheld. So it's good. It's all good. It's all good in there. And these are the nice screenshots of the game. They tried to implement mechanics, you know, into a first-person paintball game on the DS, but I think the amount of controls and options it felt way too much for a DS game. Yeah, swapping hands around, snapping, and taking cover and leaning from cover, left or right covers. Yeah, it was all too much. All too much for the Nintendo DS version. But hey, you can select what control type you want to play it in, and I do recommend playing it with the stylus touchscreen aiming, because the aiming is much easier. So let's go ahead and open it. So let's have a look at the feature, the front of the game. Let's have a look at the front of the game. It's got the title, the E10. I think the European version as is a 12 or something. And it's from, Activision, who's been getting themselves into a lot of shit in recent months, in recent years. Yep, like their ass is getting sued and shit. But oh well. they're still in hot water. And I doubt they're gonna ever recover. But either way, back to this. And the cover of it looks nice. Yep, this is final. It's in a black box, which is what all these Japanese and US games are boxed in. And here's the back. It's got this taped on it. that element. And then there's this. And then there's not easy to get all of these little things off. Because I really want this out of the way. So I can read. Made it one piece. I gotta put it off my screen to put it there. Okay. Good. Here, I suppose this will do for the box, the unbox. Alright, and two more. And one more piece. That's stapled. There we go. Now it's free. There we go, now we can look at the back of the game. Maxed out features: engage opponents in ultra intense paintball action in first person mode. Snap, crouch, strafe, run, and change hands for the fastest action ever. Except you can't strafe and move forward at the same time. That's the only thing I found that was bad about the controls. 12 styles of playing fields with 48 total variations. Selectable difficulty levels as you advance from rookie to amateur to pro. And these are nice screenshots of the game. Yep. And this is one of the control options that you could have. 2004 Nintendo. Ah, it was a 2005 game. And it does feature 2 to 6 player multi-card play. And the gameplay itself, I played this on a flash cartridge. It's a paintball game where you eliminate enemies on the other team, to win matches. And you win like best of 3 to 5 matches. To advance to the next rounds in the paintball tournament. So once you win 3 rounds, you advance to the next set, and if you win all sets, you move on to the next tournament. And you can buy like better paintball guns and outfits, but I usually just like to buy the new paintball guns because the outfits are just cosmetic. So here it is, there's the game. Let's open up the box. It's got the instructions in it. The instructions, no warranty, no Nintendo DS warranty. It's got the manual written that shows you how to set up the game, and your controls, whatever, credits, yep. And here's the game. And here's the game. Which, yep, it shows the game title, Nintendo DS logo, and the E10 logo. Yeah, but like I said, this is the US version. I wanted to get my hands on this, and I didn't really care for what region version I get, because I think this game, I'm not sure if this is true or not, this game got a limited release in Europe on the DS, which made it like super rare, super difficult, and there were some copies of the game in Europe that wasn't in English or something, so I kind of settled, yeah, you know what, I think I'll just settle for the US one. Whichever copy of it that I get, first I welcome it. And yeah, I'm happy with it. Yeah, I'm happy with this purchase. And I wanted to really bring up these because recently I've been seeing videos. I've seen a video of Quake running on the Game Boy Advance, and I was really impressed seeing what appeared to be a Quake style game running something so limited as the Game Boy Advance, and it was from Randy Pitchford, the same guy who worked on Doom for the Super Nintendo. And when I was watching the Quake Game Boy Advance video, it's like, if you can get Quake running on something so limited as the Game Boy Advance, you technically know your system specs of a console. You know how to make near impossible ports of games on systems that are just haven't got the normally wouldn't have the capabilities to be able to run something. So that's something on more powerful based hardware would be able to run it with no issues. So that's why I took more interest in trying to track down all of the Game Boy Advance first-person shooters and all of the Nintendo DS first-person shooters. So let's have a look at my Game Boy Advance first-person shooters that I have. There's the Dark Arena, which I've talked about. I have Doom 1 that's in here. I'll just show you quickly. Doom is inside here. See, there it is. There's Doom 1. I am going to eventually start trying to track down Doom 2 if I can find it. Doom 2 for the Game Boy Advance if I can locate it. There's X vs. Saber 1 and X vs. Saber 2. Now the X vs. Saber 1 I got is the American version of the game. It may come in like the PAL in the European version box, but the cartridge that I have for it, I'm not gonna lie, is the US one. When we ordered it off of Amazon, and we got the US version cartridge for some reason, but we got the European version cartridge. But I did get the European version cartridge of X vs. Saber 2 Ballistic, which is the European version of the game, and it's in this, in this box, which is getting a fair bit of mold. Yeah, that's something. So that's a good one. There's Serious Sam Advance, which is the Serious Sam version for the Game Boy Advance. Yep, that's one. That's all the FPS games I have for the GBA. With now this one, Backtrack joining in on it. And then you got on the DS, the first person shooters I have for the DS are Bionicle Heroes, which is a surprisingly excellent game. That one actually surprised me when I first saw it. Then there's all the Call of Duties, the 5 Call of Duty games, Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, Call of Duty Black Ops, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 Mobilize, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 Defiance, and Call of Duty World at War, which on consoles was one of my favorite games in the Call of Duty series. And there's Dementium. And there's Dementium 2. And I'm hoping to look around for the European version of Dementium 1. Proper European version of Dementium Ward. I want to find that. The Dementium Ward, and it was the game that fixated my interest in the DS. I really was interested in the platform. Yeah, that one doesn't count. Rail shooters do not count. There's GoldenEye 007, the 2010 remake. And when there's a port of that remake for the DS, which is essentially Call of Duty on the James Bond skin. And then there's GoldenEye Rogue Agent, which was actually one of the few games that really did fascinate me on the Nintendo DS, which was the way that it showed me the gameplay, where they took console version of the game and put it onto a handheld, and it implemented touchscreen aiming controls, and it was pretty smooth, and I still played it. And I still play this port of GoldenEye Rogue Agent. I still enjoy this from time to time. Vector Prime Hunters, alongside the first-hand demo. Yep, that's what these are fascinating games. And First Hunt is what came with the original Nintendo DS when I had it for Christmas. Really good, really good. There's a version of Peter Jackson's King Kong, the official game of the movie, and it's one of the worst games on the Nintendo DS that I've played. Like, it's absolutely broken to fuck. It's absolutely buggy as hell. It glitches up. The character models look horrifically bad. Like, it's some of the worst 3D modeling you'll ever see in your life. Like, it's horrendous. And then there were more Nintendo DS first-person shooters. And then the 3DS barely took off with its first-person shooters, with the only one thing that I have in cartridge form, Metro Prime Federation Force, and boy was this one game that pissed off loads, and I mean pissed off every Nintendo gamer ever when it was announced. And I was one of those poor sons that wanted to at least give it a chance, because the Nintendo 3DS wasn't giving out the same kind of hype for first-person shooters like the Nintendo DS original did. And I was hoping at least they would give us the same first-person shooter experiences that the Nintendo DS offered, but they ended up failing. With the only decent one was the Dementium Remaster, which I have on my 3DS. Because they didn't emulate the control schemes of the old Nintendo DS first-person shooters. They ended up making the face buttons, the aiming controls, the stylus touchscreen aiming controls were gone. Yeah, sorry about that, the junker. So what was I saying? Yeah, with the Nintendo 3DS first-person shooters, they didn't emulate the control schemes of the first-person shooters on the original DS because they made the face buttons, the aiming controls, and they were so bad. The stylus touchscreen aiming controls were gone for no reason. Which the one targeting thing that the Nintendo DS did, making first-person shooters easily accessible on the console, was the touchscreen aiming, which made aiming and looking around precise and easy to do. And the 3DS just took it away. Like, why? Why would you do that? Why would you not implement touchscreen stylus aiming, like mouse, like aiming for the touchscreen on the 3DS for first-person shooters? And the only games that did it right was the Dimension Remastered, and also the remaster for Moon called Moon Chronicles, which sadly never got released in Europe, and I was so sad by that because I was so looking forward to it. I've been paying attention to all Nintendo Direct, all eShop updates to see whether or not they would add Moon Chronicles into the Nintendo 3DS library, but it never came to be. Where it was something that was going on at Renegade Kid at the time. Developers shipped over, some developers left, or whatever. It was just all sad. It was just all sad news. And then when Metroid Prime Federation first came out, it was a bastardized mess. And the controls were god awful. I really hated Metroid Prime Federation first, then after, and then agreed it was a flop. And one of the worst games on the 3DS. So that's why I do respect first-person shooters on the DS for what they accomplished. And 3DS, still enjoying the 3DS, but I'm gonna need to get a new Nintendo 3DS because one of the Nintendo 3DSs I've been using is the 3DS XL, which I have in here. And I'm gonna hope to God I bring this out without damaging. Good. All of it stays there. Good. And my 3DS XL, which I put in here, is not in the best condition now. Because I'm gonna show you. See, this is my Nintendo. This is the Nintendo 3DS XL that I've been using. I've had this since 2014. Something, and look at the condition it's now in. The hinges, the little covers come off, and the hinge is starting to come apart. And every time I bring this up, I try to put it together. See, yeah, that's starting to bend over. So it's coming to a point where it may come apart, and I'm not going to risk losing all of my stuff on there. So I'm going to have to think about placing it. But what I have done is take 3DS, which is this one. Whoops. But either way, I've taken my old Nintendo 3DS, which I had back in 2011, it still works. Even though this little even though my little joypad shell here is kind of acting up, I decided to transfer everything from my 3DS XL back to the old my old Nintendo 3DS, and I've been playing on my 3DS that way, and making updates and buying all the new games, buying all the games that's on the eShop before March 2023, where they'll eventually close the eShop for both the 3DS and the Wii U. I wish they'd given the 3DS a bit more time for the eShop, because there's still like some people, including myself, playing the 3DS. Like, I occasionally go on the 3DS to play what is it, GoldenEye Rogue Agent, or any other game that I truly love on the 3DS. Just for like a chill, or if I'm watching videos. Because I still enjoy the DS as a platform. Because the DS is a fantastic console. And it has quite an excellent, and the DS has a fantastic amount of games. It still has, and it has support, and the original DS consoles have support for the Game Boy Advance. And the Game Boy Advance is a console that's doing all kinds of fantastically developing things. So that's why I'm still holding on to my old 3DS. And I should really think about getting a new Nintendo 3DS. And I'm thinking about getting the last Nintendo 3DS console, which is the 2DS XL, I believe. And I should be able to get all of the console with everything I need, and a big memory card that can be able to hold all my games on there, and also some huge accessories that'll help keep my console safe and secure. So I just thought I'd give an update on my condition, what I think with about my Nintendo 3DS console, why I think I should get a new one ready. And then of course I also still have the DS Lite, which is what I use to play my Game Boy Advance games on. And I would plan on getting a new Game Boy Advance, but the Game Boy Advance SP is too small for my hands, and the original Game Boy Advance consoles, well, it may be good for my hands, it's a pain in the ass to see in the dark, because of the dark screen. But hopefully I can find a Game Boy Advance, original Game Boy Advance console that's got the backlight mod installed onto it or something. So there you go. That is me, my endless rambling, just talking about the 3DS so far. So here are my purchases: a new light gun shell for my Wii / PC, a new Game Boy Advance game, and a new Nintendo DS game. So very happy with my purchases. Didn't pay much for these two games though. This one I surprisingly got for £7. I just saw it cheap and I thought, why the heck? And this one I saw cheap and I thought, might as well get it before someone lucky does. And then I saw this selling for about under $24.99, and I was just like, You know what? I'll get it for that price. I might as well. So, happy with my purchases. And I'll be enjoying some gaming with them soon. So that is gonna do for me in this unboxing slash rambling video. I've been a bit lazy recently, but I have been making progress on one of my games. Tales of Berseria, I'm working on getting the Platinum Trophy, but the good news is I've already beaten the main game on New Game Plus, and I'm working on two of the last achievements to get me the Platinum Trophy before I finally start a new game. And I'll eventually start a video on YouTube. What the next playthrough is going to be. While in the meantime, you will still see maybe one or two clips from other gameplay. I'm still enjoying being close to that. While I'm just trying to pull out some new content on my YouTube channel or my GameSpot channel. But I hope you all have a fantastic day. Thank you all so much for watching this video. Give it a comment, like, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye for now.